Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Fun and Games Side Quest. My name is Curly Bright. I am a burlesque and circus performer in the DC metro area. And when I say burlesque and circus, yes, I do circus acrobatics. Not to the level that you would see in an actual circus show, but hey, a burlesque audience who has a very different standard of what they want to see would be very, very pleased with it. So that's why I stick to it. I also do drag performances, but I started out with nerdlesque and cosplay, and I absolutely adore all nerdy properties. Well, to an extent. This is my second side quest episode. The first one was Ooblets. It was about a year ago, and that one was 100% scripted because I can't really think and speak at the same time, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different this time around because I am actually obsessed with the game that I'm going to be talking about right now as a non-gamer, but still very much a gaming enthusiast and an uber nerd for pretty much my entire life. So what I'm going to be talking about today is one of the biggest recent additions to the ever popular and kind of oversaturated genre in the indie scene of mascot horror games. And I'm going to be talking about Indigo Park Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the only one that's been released. There is a Chapter 2 coming out. I did fund the Kickstarter, yes. And I'm very excited for Chapter 2 to be coming out. I think it will be coming out December of 2025. Fingers crossed. But this Chapter 2 is shaping up to be much more polished than Chapter 1. But Chapter 1, even as a small passion project done by one developer and a small team of friends, was so impressive that it took the entire internet by storm. It released in May of 2024. And it already got so much interest from YouTube streamers, Twitch streamers, content creators all over the gaming sphere. Like, if you have seen a YouTube video where the thumbnail has a cute little gray raccoon in a handkerchief, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Indigo Park Chapter 1. Now, I do know that there are way too many mascot horror games out right now. I mean, more power to Five Nights at Freddy. I've been a huge FNAF fan for a very long time. I actually have a burlesque act from, I want to say 2017, as Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. I do not think I'm going to be reviving it, but you know what? If there's enough of a call for it, then maybe we'll see. But we have seen absolute powerhouses coming out of the indie mascot horror game genre, such as Bendy and the Ink Machine, which I absolutely adore. Poppy Playtime, it's doing so well. Garden of Banban, which I have not really looked into, but I have heard very mixed reviews. But yes, there are a lot of mascot horror games. There's actually a mascot horror game about Jollibee. And as a Filipino, I have mixed feelings about that, but, you know, they were doing it in all good fun. But Indigo Park was just one of many, but it was created specifically by someone who is a huge mascot horror fan and someone who taught himself how to create games. So the creator of Indigo Park, his name is Mason. He goes by the moniker of UniqueGeese. And he is actually fairly well known now, not just for Indigo Park, but he's well known for creating a fan game for Garten of Banban called Reincarnated, which has been making the rounds as Garten of Banban that's actually scary. He made Garten of Banban better. And I know he doesn't like it when people say that, but Mason, please take your flowers. You took a game that was hit or miss. You took a franchise that was hit or miss. You made it so much more scary to the point where even MatPat was talking about it. Take your flowers, man. And I actually found out about Indigo Park Chapter 1 because MatPat played it. So MatPat had his eye on UniqueGeese because of the Garden of Banban fan game Reincarnated. And so when UniqueGeese said that he was developing his own indie horror game called Indigo Park, a lot of people had their eye on it because he had already developed a bit of a reputation for himself. Mason actually attributes the success of Indigo Park to Garden of Banban and Friday Night Funkin'. Actually, if you look on UniqueGeese's YouTube page, just count the number of Friday Night Funkin' videos that are on there. Like, this guy has covered that game so much. But is because of money that he's earned from doing, like, Garden of Banban Reincarnated and covering Friday Night Funkin', that he was able to pay for the development and everything of Indigo Park Chapter 1 completely out of pocket. He released it for free on Steam in May of 2024. I think it was May 18th. I will have to look into that. But it was completely free. He paid the crew, he paid the cast, he paid for everything out of pocket. And so there is a little bit of stuff that is janky. There are some default assets in Chapter 1, like trash has wine bottles in it, which I don't know why you would be looking at that in a children's theme park. But, the memes that came out of it were really funny. But UniqueGeese was super passionate about this. The entire squad was super passionate about this. So when it came out, I don't think any of them realized just how popular it was going to become. And they've just been so gracious, so grateful. They've all been fantastic at, dealing with the unexpected fame that came from it. But you can tell that their hearts were really in it. And so I'm so excited for Chapter 2. Anyways, okay, let's talk about the gameplay and the plot. So, for Indigo Park Chapter 1, you play as someone who is breaking into the defunct Indigo Park, which was created by Isaac Indigo, Walt Disney, but closed down 8 years before you broke in. And you can see in the opening credits, there is a lot of nostalgia involved in this. The character you play has notes that there's a certain character that's your mom's favorite, or there's a game that's your mom's, there's a ride that's your mom's favorite in this park. So there's a lot of nostalgia already baked into this game. And as you are exploring the park, once you hit the registration desk, you trigger the AI greeting guide, whose name is Rambly Raccoon. And he says that you're the first guest who he's seen in 8 years. And it's becoming very increasingly apparent that this little animated raccoon is so lonely and desperate for someone to guide around the park that he is just trying to make this experience as good for you as he possibly can make it, despite the fact that the park is in so much disrepair. He is so excited to show you his train ride. He's so excited to talk about his mascot friends, except Lloyd. But as you go through the park, and as Rambly starts seeing along with you, the park is in disrepair for a very good reason. The mascots are not exactly as they seem, and Rambly is trying so hard to push it down because he just wants you to have a good time. And by the end of it, he's like, I don't know what to tell you, man, I'm sorry. And he is so endearing. I feel like Rambly is the reason why, one of the main reasons why Indigo Park Chapter 1 has been such a success, because in a lot of indie mascot horror games, you don't really have a main mascot character, animatronic, AI, or otherwise, who you really want to relate to, because all of them are scary. And Bendy and the Ink Machine kind of gets close to that because Bendy's super cute. Not the demon, not the demon Bendy, the cute Bendy. But with Rambly, immediately he is cute, he is endearing. Like, the amount of people who would lay down their lives for Rambly on the internet, staggering. The amount of people who are saying, I swear to God, if Rambly ends up being evil, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm going to go into mourning. That's a sign of a well-designed character. And Rambly himself was animated by Jake Neutron and Team Neutron Studios and voiced by Otterboy VA. His name is Vito. And this is something that really blows the minds of a lot of people who have experienced Indigo Park Chapter 1, because Otterboy VA has never had a main character role before this. Rambly Raccoon is his breakout role, and he knocks it out of the Indigo Park, so to speak. I really would recommend you watch some streams on this. I watched MatPat's live stream of Indigo Park. I watched UniqueGeese react to MatPat's live stream. I watched Otterboy VA play a live stream of Indigo Park. I watched Toasty Marshmallow, the voice of another mascot, Molly McCaw, play through it. And I even watched some of Jake Neutron's playthrough of it. I've been obsessively watching how the casting crew have been reacting to this. And I've seen them in tears just because they're so happy, they're so proud, they're so, like, overjoyed at how polished it is and how good it looks, and you can tell just how much love they have for it, and that they can tell that they're part of something great, and you can see the emotion and you can see how overwhelmed they are, because none of them expected it. And honestly, that's what I love so much about this. This was a passion project paid for out of pocket by a guy who taught himself how to develop a game, and it's exploded. And yes, like I said, I did put some money into the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter for Chapter 2 made 5 times its goal. Over 5 times its goal by the time it closed down. That should give you an indication of how well it did. And one of the perks of what I'm getting a digital art book, and I will be getting a copy of Chapter 2 when it arrives. And even though I'm not much of a gamer and I'm not good at horror, I am going to give it the best college try to play it. Another thing that really struck me, and something that MatPat noticed, was UniqueGeese put so much research into Disneyland theme parks. Indigo Park is an homage to the Disneyland theme park. If you go through all the attractions and the rides, you'll be able to pinpoint exactly what ride from Disney inspired it. The train ride, the big stage where you meet Lloyd the Lion, like everything. Like, UniqueGeese loves Disney. Like, he absolutely adores the Disney parks, and you can tell. This is a love letter. That's what I love about Indigo Park. It is such a love letter, and I am rambling on, and I can tell that I'm about to get to my time, so I gotta stop. But I'm so excited for Chapter 2, y'all. Whoo! One more thing I gotta mention. Please do yourself a favor and look up Rambly Review. That is the end credits song of Indigo Park Chapter 1. GLaDOS, eat your heart out. There is a new AI/robot mascot character who is singing everyone out to the outro. And I've lost count how many times I have played that song. Like, it's instant serotonin. I have played Rambly Review so many times. It is so well written. I think it's written by Rec D, who also voices Lloyd Lyon. I please just urge you to look up Indigo Park. It's impressive, and it's just a heartwarming story of a creator who wanted to put all of his passion into this project. Okay, that is time for me. That is it. Thank you so much, Matt Stormageddon, for having me back on for another side quest episode. Again, my name is Curly Bright. You can find me on Instagram under Curly Bright Productions, and in the description you will see a link tree, and I keep it up to date as best I can, but that's where you will find where all of my upcoming shows are. I am in the DC metro area, however, I am known to perform further out. I've performed as far down as like Richmond and Roanoke in Virginia. I've performed in Philly. I've performed in New York. I have performed as far as New England. So keep an eye out. I'd love to say hi. If you play this game and are excited for Chapter 2, I would love to gush about this with you. But anyways, that is it for me for now. So all I have to say is thank you so much. Keep on rambling on, and happy gaming.
Hey, Nerf herders.
You sure you want to go with that?
Hey, everyone.
There we go. More inviting.
Have you ever had a movie that you really wanted to love, but something holds you back?
Or one that you did love in spite of a flaw?
Well, I'm Case Aiken.
And I'm Sam Alisea.
And on Another Pass, we sit down with cool guests to look at movies that we find fascinating.
But flawed.
And we try to imagine what could have been done when they were made to give them that little push.
We're not experts. We just believe in criticism.
Constructive criticism.
Sure.
So come take another pass at some movies with us.
And every now and then, we can celebrate movies that did it on their own, too.
You can find us at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Pass it on.
CPOV.
certainpov.com.